What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for Panty and Stocking Season 2. This is episode 11, I think. And with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't feel as crazy as it was in last week's episode with that whole what was it? That thing and Conan the Barbarian spoof
Well,
that
I
we saw.
mean, there's references in this episode, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's not really as I guess weird as the Conan segment from the last episode.
it's just I think like the two notable ones, I think particularly like the last two, of course, spoofs Indiana Jones. And the last one is, of course, the Terminator.
Yeah, all three of them are kind of like spoofs. Well, at least with the first one, the name is like the life. It was like the life of Chuck Malkovich, which is I think it's a reference to this one movie. I think it was either like Being John Malkovich or The Life of John Malkovich, so something like that. But I don't know if the actual like segment has anything to do with that. But you know, the other two segments are definitely like more references, like as opposed to just the name only than than the first one is.
Yeah, so the first one, it mainly focuses on Brief and Chuck. I think Brief gets he somehow falls into a hole, and then he gets stuck underground with Chuck, and they're looking for an exit and how they're supposed to get out of there. At the same time, they start bonding with each other, like just I mean, well, just doing stuff together since. Brief is the only one who can really talk. I don't know how, Chuck doesn't really say a word at all. Like, he just, he just, like, barks at him or does whatever he can just to communicate with Brief. And then, I think Chuck's suggestion is to send, Brief back in time before he falls down to the hole. I don't know how Brief can really understand him. That just, I mean, I don't know. It's just
I don't question the logic of any of these.
No, there is no logic at all to this show. I mean, we've seen like so many illogical stuff happen in this show, like having a fucking Jeep as a president of the city that pardons Panty for whatever crime that she's been called out for. But yeah, and so yeah, the episode ends off there, and then we get into this. Indiana Jones spoof with
Indiana Jones and I guess also Tomb Raider, because both like Panty and Stocking are dressed up as they're both dressed up as Lara Croft. Like Panty's wearing a different outfit of Lara Croft, and then like Stocking is wearing like another outfit that she wears sometimes, and her hair is styled the same way.
So I guess their mission is to look for this. Well, they go along with Brief too, and they have to.
It's like an ancient like phallic object, like artifact thing that they have to get.
Yeah, and plus they come across the Demon Sisters, which who are also looking to obtain this artifact too. And Brief is is possessed by this ghost of this. I don't know, this artifact, and this entire head is just,
yeah, the whole segment's just basically like, dick jokes.
Yeah. So like they it's just pretty much like, both groups just trying to obtain the artifact for themselves, like, just like spoofing like what was it, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Dooms, like that cart chase. The mine cart chase sequence, and then of course, like they come across the ghost of the artifact, in which they end up. I guess they defeat the ghost, and I think they end up destroying the artifact at the same time. So I guess I don't know. This is like I kind of forgot what happened. Just did how ridiculous. This whole episode.
Don't the Angel Brothers show up or something, and then
just only briefly before like their whole their whole ridiculous clock and schedule. Like, they just they grab brief and then, like, they get on break and then they just drop them. That's it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I mean, I like the segment. Like I like that there, is like a reference to, I guess, both Indiana Jones and Laura, like Tomb Raider. That was pretty funny. Um, the last one is more just, somehow even more ridiculous because I. I mean, so the last one's a reference of both like not Tomb Raider, Terminator, and Minority Report for some reason. Um,
Yeah. So stalking is targeted by a time traveler. I think his name is Tom Cruise.
yeah,
I
it's
think
literally just Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, and it's like he's stopping her from repairing her plush toy. What was it? She called it Honekoneko, and then supposedly, like, Tom Cruise is trying to prevent her from repairing that thing because it'll create like these almost like these intelligent Terminator looking stuffed animal things, and then and
Just an
one of them.
army, I guess, of Hanako Neko.
Yeah, and then one of the future Honekonekos, with with the poor, I guess, in invitation of Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Yeah.
Terminator, he hunts her down, and then, like, well, she's basically just being hunted down by both Tom Cruise and the robot Honeko Neko, and and of course, like, she goes into hiding with, like, what was it, the gunsmith girl,
Yeah.
um who okay, so somehow she has the ability for time travel as well. So she brings Stocking back in time to have her plush repaired by its creator, which, of course, it's Garterbelt, who's,
Yeah.
before he grows out an afro and
The,
has
it,
this, like,
yeah, like
uh,
this felt like almost like a reference to Miles Bennett Dyson from the Terminator 2, because he was like the one of like the inventors of Skynet. So it almost felt like he was like that was what Garterbelt was supposed to be.
yeah, and then, of course, he helps, Stocking, like, stitch up her toy, and then, she ends up heading back to her own time. But then all of a sudden, Garterbelt gets shot by Tom Cruise, which I was a little bit worried. I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be worried, but, just due to the fact that it causes a
It,
time paradox,
yeah.
as a result of it. So Stocking returns back to, well, I could assume, like, it's more of an alternate timeline of hers in which, uh, what was it? Her Honeko Neko, like, design is completely different, and now Garterbelt is like, well, he's not dead, after being shot multiple times. He's alive after, I don't. He has, like, the same, like, stitched, like, Honeko Neko's bone decal onto himself, and then the episode ends off, like, saying is not to be continued. So I mean, we could assume that that's the end of it, unless,
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, I really doubt that it's really going to be continued. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the episode. I guess. I mean, it was more fun than the last episode. Um, it's just, I would say I think my personal favorite would be, like, the Indiana Jones spoof episode.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
but yeah, I think it was just, like, this episode was just pure, fun and madness all around. But yeah, as for next week's episode, I think it's next week is going to be a double episode. So it's going to be episodes like 12 and 13 put together, or, separately, all together at once.
Yeah, that makes me wonder if it's just going to go back to, I guess maybe sort of like wrapping up the main plot. I mean, really, if there is one.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to. I mean, they've introduced, like, the Angel Brothers, and they didn't really have them do much of anything in terms of, like, what they want to do against, like, Panty and Stocking, and probably the Demon Sisters as well. But
Mhm.
uh, but but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this episode. It was more of just pure fun if anything if watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. It's like I said, it doesn't really get as weird and crazy as the last one with the Conan segment. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's still like pretty consistent in terms of just like kind of ramping up the ridiculousness of each segment, and of just of course all the like just numerous references in each segment. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a good episode. I don't really have much else to say about it though. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
I mean, hopefully we'll finally get to see like in oh, I guess get back to the main plot of the show, which is I guess well, I mean they haven't really elaborated much like what the plot's going to entail, but it would likely have to involve the Angel Brothers this time.
Yeah, I would think so. Um, I mean, considering they're supposedly, I guess, supposed to be the antagonists of this season.
Yeah,
Um,
but they haven't really felt like the antagonists every time they end up
yeah,
showing up here and there.
yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, guys. So that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.